Wood is a politics editor for something called Loonie Politics, which is an aggregate of news that has all the earliest stories you could ever get, aside from on CP24. He joins me right now because we want to talk politics. And the last few days, a lot of people have been talking about the fact that the premier of our province is just so foursquare behind Justin Trudeau, unprecedented in her support. And some people are questioning the wisdom of it. What's your view on that?
Well, it's unprecedented. And plus, when you look at the current group of premiers, she is the only one that's really actively out campaigning for a federal leader. It's kind of a double-edged sword, certainly within the 416 and sometimes within the 905. That could pay dividends. But outside of the 905 area, she is very unpopular at this point in time.
So, I mean, Trudeau could win with her, could have some, some support for her. He also, I mean, as you said, double-edged sword. He could lose a lot of potential seats. Saying that if you're going to be with her, one person told me yesterday, they said it's a triple-edged sword because if he wins, he's going to have to give from the federal coffers a lot of money. She's in it for the money. And Ontario needs a lot of money because of their debt.
Absolutely, but also remember the 2011 election, provincial or federal election. When Ignatieff was knocking on doors, there was someone called Premier McGuinty that got a lot of backlash because it was about the gas plants at that point in time.
Right.
So it can work against the campaign, the federal campaign, if you have a very unpopular provincial leader. In this case, outside the 416, I think the polls have shown that she is pretty unpopular. With the Ontario pension plan, with the wind turbines,
selling of hydro.
Hydro One is a big issue.
Well, I see the big issue in 416 because we had the Forum president here the other day, and her popularity is taking a bit of a beating. Let's talk about, speaking of that popularity, the Conservative leaders trying to get into the legislature. By-election call for September the 3rd. They first said they weren't going to have one, and then after pressure, they capitulated, so they are having one. And Wynne was there. She's working in this riding. I mean, is there a possibility that she thinks they can defeat the leader?
No chance. No chance that the Liberals are going to win the riding. It is a Conservative riding. Since 1999, Garfield Dunlop has held that seat. Only once has he been below 50% support. That was 44 in the last election. So 44 is a magic number. If the Tories get above 44, it's almost going to be like a referendum on Wynne, an embarrassment before the federal election. If it's less than 44, it will be a victory for the Liberals, even if they don't win the riding.
We're talking about the Liberals' political judgment, both with supporting Trudeau so much and in this riding. In other circumstances, particularly federal, people have said when there's a leader looking to get into the House of Commons, they say, look, just have the by-election and we won't run anybody. Get in there. Would it have been smart for the Liberals to say, just get in there and not have somebody?
Well, first of all, the Premier did not want to call the by-election during the federal election, not because the voters of Simcoe North couldn't determine the difference between two elections. It's because she does not want a political embarrassment outside the GTA area.
Right.
It is very unusual for a leader to be campaigning against another leader in a by-election. And really, except for that token visit, I don't think you're going to see the Premier up in Simcoe North. You've got Deputy Premier Deb Matthews going up there, sending out literature as well. But
she's a big name, and she has sent out a lot of literature. Yes.
But she's not the Premier. So the Premier is not going to probably put any ante into the game unless they think they have a good shot at bringing that number down below 44% for the Tories.
Okay, now I was just told I love doing this. We have 20 seconds left. I want you to give the definitive opinion on the federal election for Ontario.
For Ontario,
is it still a three-way race?
I think it's a two-way race. Outside of the GTA, the Tories are going to win Ontario at this point in time. I think they're going to be pretty close to where they were in the last election.
So we may have another election within a year.
Perhaps.
That'll be real fun. Robert Wood, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks, Stephen.